Hey, what's up, everyone? It is time for our recruiting report with Otis Kirk, our Arkansas football insider. And we've got some big news coming out just a while ago about Markel Etsy. He has committed to transfer to Arkansas from Missouri, a defensive lineman. What can you tell us about him?
6'4", 295. Recently played at Little Rock Parkview Terror. Here's a kid that's got 24 games in the SEC of experience. Played for signed with Barry Odom out of high school up in Missouri. This past season, he had 19 tackles. 16 of them were solo. A couple of tackles for loss, and broke up a pass. But through the years, he played 9 games this year. Last year, he played 12 games, and when Barry's last year. Barry, went and got this kid, and when Arkansas didn't recruit him out of high school, he was committed to Arizona. And then Missouri came in and got him to flip to them. And so when you get a kid 6'4", 295 that's played in the SEC, got 24 games under his belt, perfect condition for Arkansas, and he's big enough to play inside or out. He's a defensive tackle, but he can play in the 3-4, or he can play inside. So, you're looking at a kid that's a good pickup for Arkansas. I mean, that's something that you can't get too many of. Sam Pittman has told us he's going to get another, try to get some more defensive linemen in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And this made sense because he was from Parkview, and he's coming home. And that's good. I think it's a good deal. I thought Arkansas probably should have recruited him out of high school, but Bielema had his own opinion on that. He didn't recruit him. He didn't recruit Jake Beckett. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying, there's coaches that see different things. Barry Odom saw something in him that Bielema didn't, and I'm sure Brett saw something in the kids that Barry didn't. So I'm not being critical of anyone. I know it sounds like it is, but I'm just saying that he wasn't offered by Arkansas out of high school, but he's going to be a Razorback now. And the big thing is he's graduated from Missouri. He's going to finish up his career at Arkansas, and I think that's important for him.
Well, what about Trey Emery, a guy from Texas, 2022, defensive tackle as well? What's the situation with him?
Well, he's coming in for a visit on January. January. In June the 27th through the 29th, or 25th through the 27th, that last weekend in June. Here's a kid that a lot of people, we talked about him a lot on this show.
Yeah.
But he's 6'4", 300 pounds there. And what people don't know is he had COVID. And he became paralyzed from part of his body. And so they didn't know what it was. They thought, maybe, is this a weightlifting deal? And they took him to the doctor. They sent him to the Children's Hospital in Dallas. He stayed there for quite a while. Then they transferred him to the rehab at St. Michael's in Texarkana. And so this is a kid that, we hear, all young people, that's no big deal. But it almost killed this kid. And he's got visits set to Oklahoma State, Arizona, Arkansas, and Baylor right now. And the last visit will probably go to TCU, SMU, or Auburn. What he might do, he might visit SMU and TCU unofficially, and then visit Auburn with an official visit because they're so close to Mount Pleasant. Yeah. I'm just saying that's what he might do. But I know he's taking those other 4 visits. He set them. But here's a good kid. His goal, I wrote a story about him this week. I've written several stories about him. His goal is to play 3 years and go to the NFL. His mother has raised him and his siblings by herself, and it's not been easy. But he's a kid that's just, he's a lot like some of these other kids that Sam recruit, first-class kid all the way. Kendall Briles is the lead recruiter on him. He's done a good job. And so it's going to be interesting to see where Trey ends up. But he's 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle, and that's what they're going after is the bigger kids like Utley, like Markel, like Trey. That's what they want is the bigger bigger linemen on both sides of the ball. So wherever he goes, somebody's gonna get not just a heck of a football player, but a heck of a kid. He is great. I love the kid. I sent him several messages while he was in the hospital, and stayed in touch with him and his mother, and they're really good people. And I, continue people praying for him because he's still using one walking cane. He's still using. He is not completely out of the wood. Well, he's out. He's going to live. He's not. Woods on complete, like he's not 100% yet. Is what I'm saying. So just continue to keep him in your thoughts and prayers, and if you do that, and he's just a good kid. It's a good family,
Yeah.
Tara, a real good family. Okay.
So he'd
I'm,
be a good addition to Arkansas in many ways, is what you're saying.
he's just a great kid, great family, and
Yeah.
he's really so polite and so
Mhm.
low key and just
Yeah.
so humble. But kid you want if you have a daughter and he came to date her, you'd be glad.
Yeah.
If you football program, Sam Pittman and Kendall Browns and Ashley will be elated, and they should be. Whoever gets him, like I said, they're getting a prize more than just a football player.
Well, what about Peyton Bowen? How does he feel about Arkansas? 2023 guy,
Yeah,
4-star safety. I saw what you wrote about him
yeah.
on your article.
Sam Carter's done a good job with him, as he does with most of the kids. He's 2023.
Mhm.
He's 6'1", about 185, I believe. He's got 12 offers. Arkansas is his last one, and he will really strike you. He's another good kid that comes up, but when he's on the football field, he can give it. In 8 games, he earned code defensive newcomer of the year in his conference, and that's a good conference down there. That he's from Denton Guyer, by the way, in Texas,
Okay.
and he just plays hard, plays smart, and it's a kid definitely that schools like Michigan, Southern Cal, just big time schools have offered him, and they're going to keep offering him, and so he's the type kid that just Florida State, Notre Dame. Schools have offered him that definitely are in the mix there, and other SEC schools. And so you're going to see somebody that get a really good safety there. But he's 2023, so he's still got some time. He is going to start taking visits on June the 1st, some unofficials, but he told me he will visit Arkansas at some point before he makes a decision. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, that's good to know. Also, John Ridgeway, he's got an offer. He's an Illinois State defensive tackle. I feel like they're just offering a ton of defensive linemen right now. But 6'6", 325. He's in the transfer portal. What do you think about him?
Kid came in Monday, got in the transfer portal, and this week alone, Arkansas was the first to offer him, and it's a good thing because soon after they offered him, Indiana, Texas, Penn State, Iowa, Arizona State, Tennessee, Michigan, Southern Cal. I mean, this is just this week, Tara. These have all come in on him.
Yeah.
And when you get a kid that big, and he was a Phil Steele freshman All-American when he was a freshman there at Illinois State, but he's really come on. He had a bunch of tackles this past season. He can control the middle. He would be the perfect nose guard for the 3-4. Put him in that middle. That's what they do with him a lot there. They put him in the middle and let him clog that middle up. Reminds me of the big kid that I think it was at Alabama had the big kid a few years ago that
probably.
I mean, the huge kid, and I'm sorry, I'm going to blank on his name, but they had a defensive tackle like that, nose guard type, and boy, he just clogs the middle. And, the older people will remember Refrigerator Perry, that on that Chicago Bears Super Bowl team. That's the type kid this is, just a big guy who can clog that middle, and he is definitely somebody that I don't know if Arkansas's got a chance for. And people ask them, getting Markel, does that mean they have no chance at Ridgeway? No. You can play both those kids at the same time. So no, it doesn't mean they're going to get Ridgeway. And I mean, like I said, you come in to the portal on Monday, and Arkansas offers this to Kip Illinois State, and you think, Hog's got a good chance. But then whenever a school in the country starts off, you don't know what his thinking is.
Right.
And the general thought is he might decide to stay in the Big Ten area. Mm-hmm. By the way, he's from Bloomington, Illinois. So he grew up in that area. So he probably grew up a fan of the Big Ten. But then again, he hasn't said that. And I know he's enjoying this fact that he's getting a lot.
I'm sure.
He didn't get those offers out of high school. He earned them now. And people saw that tape, and they saw the tape, they saw the size. And like I said, they're looking at a guy that can just clog up the middle. And when
Yeah.
you got somebody can do that, you want them in your. You can find a place for them, whether it's 4-3, 3-4, whatever it is. You can find a place for a guy
Yeah.
like that, and that's what all these schools are doing. Everybody wants the guy that can come in 1 year and make an impact.
Right.
And that's what Arkansas is getting out of Markel, and that's what somebody will get out of Ridgeway too. And it might be Arkansas as well. We'll see.
Well, last thing I want to talk to you about is the transfer portal. I know some people are concerned with the fact that we lost Mike Woods, and
Right.
we've also got Enoch Jackson in there now. Are we going to see any more names go in that portal potentially?
Yeah, there's going to be at least one more kid that's transferring out, and I just wanted to let people know, don't. Not that they're going to listen to me. I mean, they come after me. So, but just remember, when kids transfer, it's not always their choice.
Hmm.
Just remember,
It's a
when you
good
see
note.
people go into the portal, it's not always their choice. Sometimes they are urged to do that or whatever. So if you see names coming up, don't necessarily go after that person, because some of them, it may not be. I can tell you, it may very well not be their
Yeah.
decision. So I'll just give you that hint. So don't be too critical, because it's not always what you look at it and you think, boy, he's turning his back on Arkansas, and you come after the kid, which I don't understand going after kids on Twitter anyway.
I agree.
But like I said, you can be misguided by that, because it's not always the simple fact as they're saying, I'm finished with Arkansas, I'm moving on. Sometimes they're urged to do that. And I'll leave it at that, Tara.
All right, Otis, thanks so much for your time as always and your
Okay.
insight. That's going to do it, though, for our recruiting report.
Appreciate you. Have a good day, girl.
You too.